Well, good morning, students and teachers. Thank you all so very much for making your way down here to the PAC this morning for this very special occasion. Students, I want to take just a second to thank you for your amazing behavior as you walked in, as you followed directions, as you found a seat, and we filled in every seat. Can we have a round of applause for our students who did a great job getting in here this morning? And students, just a reminder of a few things. This is a very special space to our school and also to our community. Let's make sure that we treat it with respect. I'm also reminded that sometimes there are students who are not used to this kind of space. This space is a little different than if we're at a football game or a basketball game or a volleyball match. We're not in a gym and we're not outside. So there's appropriate behavior. Clapping politely in areas like this is absolutely appropriate. Shouting and whistling is not appropriate in spaces like this. So just wanted to give you that reminder. But again, students, thank you for getting in here so quickly and quietly. Teachers, thank you for your help in getting students in here quickly and quietly as well. I want to welcome everyone here. We do have a couple of distinguished guests that I would like for all of us to thank for being here. First is a couple of members of our Board of Trustees, Miss Ann McDonald and Miss Ashley Fivecoat. Thank you for being here. And Miss Tanya Derrick, thank you. Good to see you. And also our amazing Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Georgianne Warnock. Okay, students, sit back, relax a little bit, and enjoy the program. At this time, I would like to introduce our MC, our Master of Ceremonies. Her name is Christina McDaniel. Would you welcome her, please, to the podium?
Can y'all see me? I'm so short. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask for a step stool. Okay, how's everyone doing this morning? It's a beautiful weather out there today. It's amazing. So that's why I'm wearing like my winter stuff. I'm so happy and honored to be here today. I'm gonna talk about me a little bit so you guys get to know me just a little bit, and then we will have an amazing program after this. As the principal said, my name is Christina McDaniel, and like I said, I'm so glad to be here this morning with y'all, and I do want to thank Ms. Rhonda Morrow and everyone that makes this program possible. And I'm sorry. So I'll tell you a little bit about me, where I'm from, what do I do here in the city, and all that kind of thing. If you guys have any questions, then you can ask them. I'm a Latina born in California, raised both here and in Mexico. My parents went back and forth all the time, and my parents are from Zacatecas, Mexico. My youngest daughter, Kay Quintanar, she is a Terrell graduate, and she was the first Latina color guard captain with the most outstanding color guard member of the year for 2020, and I'm really proud of that. I'm also the owner of the French Soiree. I don't know if you guys know, I'm located in downtown Terrell for any events that you might want to host over there. And I'm also a photographer. Before I had these businesses here in Terrell, I moved here 4 years ago, and I really fell in love with this place, this town. I love the uniqueness of it, and the charm of the people. And I think I come from a bigger city, and I just really want to spend the rest of my time here, and of course travel, but I really adopted Terrell as my new home. Before this, I worked for a large police department, and I supervised one of the largest evidence units in the state of Texas. I'm very passionate about helping others in our community, and being a Latina gives me, I believe, the opportunity to reach out to more people, especially in our Hispanic community. People always talk about wanting change or improve the way things are done in society. And honestly, change can't be made without intelligent communication. In order to communicate where others understand, you have to be educated in order to want change to improve. It is important to educate yourself with classes and sometimes just attending meetings and observing. I welcome you guys to visit some of the organizations that I'm part of, and I'm really proud of being part of those. I am serving as a business development chairperson for the Kaufman County Hispanic Council. I am the vice president for the Terrell Citizens Police Academy, and I'm also a board member for the Terrell Chamber of Commerce. And I just graduated from the Terrell Citizens University, and that's a really great class if you guys ever looked it up. And I think you have to be maybe 18 and up to attend it. And my hashtag is Unidos Todo Se Puede. United, everything is possible. So now, please help me welcome our City of Terrell Mayor Pro Tem, Mayrani Velasquez.
Thank you, Christina. Good morning. Buenos dias. I think we could do better than that. You know, I think you've been at school since, 7, 8 o'clock today. Good morning. All right, that sounds much better. Well, my name is Mayrani Velasquez, and I had the honor and the pleasure of serving as your program, Hispanic Heritage Month program speaker last year, and I was able to share my story. This year, I have the honor of introducing and really welcoming, and then having my good friend and my colleague, your speaker for this year's program, share her story. And I am a former TISD student and graduate, class of 2007. I know it's kind of a long time ago, right? We're into 2022 now. And I left for college and came back and now serve as your Mayor Pro Tem for City of Terrell Council. Those are a lot of words that really get to say we take care of your roads and the parks and bring cool businesses like Texas Roadhouse to Terrell. But more than anything, I want to welcome each and every one of you, students, whether you're Hispanic, you're from another beautiful culture, to today's program, and all of our staff and community members that are joining us today. So what is Hispanic Heritage Month? So Hispanic Heritage Month takes place from September the 15th to October the 15th every year as a time to recognize and celebrate the many contributions, diverse cultures, and extensive histories of the American Latino community. Beginning in 1968, Hispanic Heritage Month was originally observed as Hispanic Heritage Week, but it was later extended to a month in 1988. Since then, Hispanic Heritage Month has been celebrated nationwide throughout festivals, art shows, conferences, community gatherings, and much more. This month also celebrates the Independence Day of several Latin American countries, including Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua on September the 15th, Mexico on September the 16th, and Chile on September the 18th. They also include holidays that recognize Hispanic contributions, such as the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and Friendship Day that is celebrated in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So with that, I want to continue to welcome you to today's program, and really hope that you enjoy and can either celebrate your own heritage today or learn something cool that you can share with your family and friends and your neighbors. And more than anything, I am thankful that each one of you is a member of the city of Terrell, a resident, and I hope that you'll continue after college to either give back, come back, or stay in the city of Terrell. So, thank you.
Thank you, Pro Tem Mayrani Velasquez. Great information there. So, fun fact, does anybody guess what I'm going to talk about? Tacos. So, Did you all know who loves tacos? I mean, who doesn't love tacos, right? Actually, who does not love tacos? So tacos, for example, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, just a little bit, touch on that. So tacos have gained a preference over hot dogs. Did you know that? And tortillas sell more than hamburger buns, believe it or not. And then as far as desserts goes, the dulce de leche flavor in an ice cream ranks fourth among the favorites. So that's awesome. Anyway, now let's go to welcome to the stage Griner Middle School and to perform. I'm sorry. Give them a round of applause, please. Sorry about that. We did. Now, I'm sorry, we're presenting the Terrell High School students with the presentation of the flags.
Each year we gather to observe National Hispanic Heritage Month by celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. Please help us recognize our Hispanic and Latino flags. Please allow us to celebrate with you if you are from or have relatives from these countries.
Guatemala, Belize, Costa Rica, Salvador, Puerto Rico, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Spain, Chile, Colombia, Honduras, Argentina, Panamá, México,
That was awesome. So now we welcome to the stage Griner Middle School. Give them a round of applause.
Volaron las amarillas, calandrias de los nopales, ya no cantarán alegres los pájaros cadernales. A la tiranana, a la tiranana no, ya no cantarán alegres los pájaros cadernales. Árboles de la alaveda, porque no han reverdecido, por eso calandrias canten, o les apachurra el nido. A la tiranana, a la tiranana no, por eso calandrias canten, o les apachurra el nido. Eres chiquita y bonita, y así como eres te quiero, pareces una rosita en las costas de Guerrero. A la tiranana, a la tiranana no, pareces una rosita en las costas de Guerrero. En la medianía del mar suspiraba una ballena, y en el suspiro decía el que la seca la llena. A la tiranana, a la tiranana no, en el suspiro decía el que la seca la llena. Mi padre fue gavilán y yo nací pico pico,
Thank you, Griner Middle School. That was awesome, outstanding. All right, I have another couple of fun facts for you. I have this one that's really cool. So, does anyone know who Ellen Ochoa is? If you do, raise your hand, because I really want to ask you. Nope. Okay, well today you will know. So Ellen Ochoa, the Californian with Mexican roots, who in 1990 became the first Latina astronaut with over 1,000 hours in space. Ellen continues to be an iconic character of the NASA. So now you know. And with that, let's move forward. Oh, they're next? Okay, I'm sorry. So we will have the performance of the mariachi next. So give them a round of applause.
Cariño que nació de la nada, sin saber se convierte en sublime obsesión. Tú eras para mí diferente, sin pensar que algún día tú serías mi amor. El tiempo te dirá la realidad y yo te adoraré una eternidad. Te quiero y no puedo negarlo. Si es preciso gritarlo, gritaré sin cesar.
That was awesome. I love how they sing and everything. All right, guys. Another fun fact, and I think it's probably going to be the last one. Does anyone know who Victoria Alonso is? Who? Someone raise their hand way up there. Maybe that's your name, right? Okay, so Victoria Alonso she's from Argentina, and she's the Marble Students Production President. How about that? And yeah, outstanding woman. And speaking of great women, it is my honor to present to you guys Terrell graduate, study law at Texas Tech University. And she's now here with us in Terrell, Texas, with her own law firm, located in downtown, by the way. And her name is Kenia Ontiveros. Welcome.
Good morning, Terrell High School. It looks like we are, most of us, awake by this point. Thank you so much for having me today. It's an honor to be here with you as we commemorate such an important celebration as is Hispanic Heritage Month. When I was approached by the organizers of this event, I was so excited to be here today, and I really have been looking forward to it so much. Although it may not seem like it, as Mairani mentioned, I too sat exactly where you are today not very long ago. I am proud to say that I am a 2010 Terrell High School graduate, and I really hope that you're enjoying your high school years as I know that I did. On theme with what we celebrate this month, I want to share with you today what it means to me to be Hispanic or Latina. As already mentioned, Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated by numerous Central Latin American countries, as well as some in the Caribbean and even one in Europe. While we all have the commonality of speaking Spanish, we're not all the same. We have different and diverse histories, culture, traditions, food, and even forms of government. So again, we're not all the same, but we do embrace, support, and celebrate each other's differences. I, for instance, was born in Durango, Mexico, to hardworking and wonderful parents that are here with me today. When I was 8 years old, my family migrated to the US and my life changed forever. And despite making the US our permanent home, I love going back to my home country, and I deeply cherish the time that I'm able to spend there. But it's not only when I go back to visit Mexico, or only from September 15th to October 15th, that I take the time to reflect on what it means to me to be Hispanic or Latina. In fact, it's something that I think about often, and it's what I use to continue to push me to achieve greater things every day. To be Hispanic or Latina to me means two main things. First, it means being proud of my roots and never shying away from my past or what my people represent. When my family chose to relocate to the US, we did so in the hopes of building a better life and a better future. While the US has provided me, countless opportunities to better myself, for which I forever will be grateful, that by no means discounts the values and the lessons that I learned in my home country and that I carry with me to this day. In Mexico, I learned the value of hard work. For as long as I can remember, I watched my grandfather work his fields tirelessly every single day to grow watermelons, peaches, cantaloupes, and pecans. I look at my grandfather's hands now, and I see the wrinkles and the scars, and that they are a true testament of a man that has worked his entire life. As a father of 13, my grandfather focused on providing all of his children the opportunity to pursue an education. I've yet to meet as hardworking as a person as my grandfather has been his entire life. In Mexico, I also learned the meaning of dedication. I watched my mother invest in the success of her students by selflessly volunteering for after-school tutoring programs to ensure that no student was left behind. Even today, I am reminded of my mother's dedication for the love of teaching when I see so many of her past students' smiling faces rush to say hello to her and give her a big hug anytime that they see her. I am so proud to see that my mother's dedication positively impacted the life of others. Finally, in Mexico, I learned the truest meaning of sacrifice. Before moving to the U.S., my family suffered through the separation of my father working in the U.S. most of the year for many years, and only coming home to visit my mother, my siblings, and I, mostly on the holidays. During those difficult years, I often looked up at the sky, admiring the star, wishing that I could be sitting there next to my father, but instead, we were 876 miles apart to be exact. But despite the sadness that was felt during those difficult years, my entire family knew that it was a sacrifice worth withstanding because my dad was laying the groundwork to us being able to have a better life together here in the U.S. I share these life experiences with you to highlight that in today's age, it is polarizing to admit that you are an immigrant. But despite the common misconception that all immigrants are illegal, I am never hesitant to speak as to what my Mexican roots and my immigrant experience have done to shape me into the woman that I am today. As a Latina, I am proud to share that my roots and my past represent a long line of law-abiding, hardworking, and honest people. Why would I ever be embarrassed of my people? And I speak of my countrymen, my fellow Latinos as a whole, not just my family, when I know the great contributions to this country and to the world that have come because of them. Like the first and one of the youngest Mexican-born American women to fly to space. Or like the man who was born in Guadalajara and that helped introduce the world to colored television, which we could never dream of living without today. Or finally, like the Latino surgeon who created the first artificial heart to be used in a human, which kept that human alive for days before being able to receive a real human heart transplant. Now I know that not everyone here today is Hispanic, but this message is for all of you to take home with you. Never be ashamed of your roots, of your past, and what your people represent, no matter where you are from. Instead, use as an example those like you that have come before you to propel you to achieve greater things. The second thing that it means to me to be Latina is having a vision for your future and having the conviction and the resilience to continuously break through barriers that you will encounter on your way to reaching your goals. When I arrived in the US, I spoke zero English. I remember showing up to what used to be Kennedy Elementary School on the first day of school and being so relieved to see kids, classmates that looked like me and that spoke my same language. I will not lie to you, it was not easy. There were many nights where we struggled as my parents surrounded my sisters and I around the kitchen table, trying to figure out endless homework instructions that might as well have been written in Morse code. But we worked hard at learning the language and at doing well academically. I made it all the way to high school, where I had a chance to participate in a few school activities, one of them being the debate team. It is there that I really solidified my dream of going to law school. I dreamt it. I had a vision of what I wanted my profession to be, and I wanted to be a lawyer. But to be frank, I didn't really know how I would get there, and there were many times that I doubted that I would. My parents had never sent a kid to a four-year college, let alone a postgraduate program. So it was up to me to do the research on what I needed to do to take the steps towards reaching my goal. I figured out how to take standardized entrance exams, how to find the right university, the application process, and the most daunting tasks of them all, how to pay for my education. I could have used any of those things, especially the economic one, to deter me from pursuing my dream. But I didn't, because the older that I got, the clearer the vision became for me. One of my favorite quotes is by Theodore Roosevelt, and it says, "Nothing worth having comes easy." It's such a simple, clean quote, and I can tell you today that it's 100% true. Whatever your dream is, you have to have the conviction to know that if you work hard, it will be worth it when you achieve it. That is the only way to keep motivated and to stay disciplined enough to break through all the barriers that you will encounter along the way. Throughout my undergrad years, I stayed focused knowing how competitive the law school admission process would be. Once I got to law school, I felt like I had finally made it. But let me tell you that I was way wrong. Law school hit me like a ton of bricks. And after the first semester, I was ready to quit, just pack up my stuff and drive back home to Terrell. Law school was somewhat of a culture shock for me. It was incredibly challenging because I had to learn a completely new way of learning, of studying, and retaining information. But I pushed through for 3 long years that seemed like they would never end. I knew then that if I quit halfway along the way, I'd regret it, and I'd ask myself, what if, for the rest of my life? So in May of 2017, I graduated law school, and I spent the following 10 weeks studying 10 to 12 hours a day, getting ready for the 3-day-long bar exam. One must pass the bar exam in order to receive a license to practice law in the state in which you live. I've had so many people question what I'm doing. If I had $1 for every time that someone has asked me, "Are you sure you want to do that? Aren't you too young to do that? Do you have enough experience? Do you know what it's going to take?" While you may not always be sure of all the steps needed to making your vision a reality, you follow your instinct, you build resilience, and you pave the way to achieve it even when no one has done so before you. There is a beautiful song by Natalia Lafourcade, a very famous Grammy-winning Mexican songwriter and singer, that has recently become a trending TikTok and Instagram sound. And I want to close by telling you about that song. Many of you Spanish speakers know exactly the song that I'm speaking about. The song is called Hasta la Raíz, which translates to the root. I love the song, and I sing it so loudly, shamelessly, every time I hear it, because it encompasses so well what I've always known to reflect what being a Latina means to me. The song speaks to continued perseverance through crossing rivers and walking through forests, to pulling thorns from the depths of your heart, yet still loving the sun and continuing to ignite dreams at night, to continuing to accept all of your experiences down to your roots, and that no matter how much you grow, no matter where life takes you, even if you try to hide behind mountains or behind fields of sugar cane, there will be no way of you escaping or hiding where you come from, because your roots really do shine so bright and tell the story of who you are. The last verse of the song reads, "I think that each moment survived when walking, and every second of uncertainty, every moment of unknown, they are the exact key to this fabric that I am carrying under this skin, so I protect you. Here you are, still inside." To me, this speaks as to the value in each person's individual journey, and how because of its worth, not only do you protect it, you embrace it, and you should be proud of it. I encourage every single one of you today to always stand tall as to what your roots represent. Embrace your culture, whatever it may be, and never be embarrassed of your people and the difference that you have from others, because that is what makes your experience precious. Given the chance, I also encourage you to never forget to give back to the community that cheered you on along the way. You need not look very far to find a way to give back to your community. You can do that here in Terrell, Texas. There are excellent organizations, as previously mentioned, like the Kaufman County Hispanic Council, which you too could be a proud member of in the future. If you are an immigrant, proudly speak as to your journey and how it has shaped you. While you may be far into your immigrant journey, don't forget to be kind and show support to those that may just be starting their own. It costs nothing to reach down and lend a helping hand and pull up your peers in need. You should always look to continue breaking barriers and going after the unthinkable, despite the challenges that you will encounter along the way, because there will be many challenges for you. But your vision, whatever it is, can become a reality. But remember, nothing worth having comes easy, so you have to be ready to put in the work and make it happen for yourself. In my wildest dreams, as a little girl growing up in Durango, Mexico, did I think that I would be standing here before you today? And believe me, there is absolutely nothing special about me. So if I can do it, I know that you can as well. Thank you again, Terrell High School, for having me today. It's been a pleasure to share with you my experience and what it means to me to be Latina. But most importantly, it's been a pleasure to share with you that it does continue to play a role in my life every single day. I hope that each of you, Latinos or not, take some time to ask yourself the same question. What does insert your nationality or heritage mean to me? And I hope that it opens up within you a process of self-reflection that ultimately leads you to embracing even more so your identity. Thank you again for having me.
Alrighty, are you guys ready for some music? I want to see some eyes on the stage and a big round of applause to Griner Middle High School again. Go ahead, guys.
Charra, fiesta del sol. Donde los charros valientes dan con sus cantos la evocación. Jaripeo es un festejo que huele a surco y a tradición, rodeado de la faena más admirada de mi nación. Bonito es el jaripeo y cuando es su animación, yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Upaliu, paliu, upaliu, paliu. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor.
Y así se canta en mi tierra, ¿verdad de Dios que sí?
Te aplaude con emoción. Y un toro viene rodado, muy bien coleado por Don Nabor. historia en la riata con gran primor. Bonito es el jaripeo y cuánta su animación. Yo quiero montarle un toro para que me mire mi amor. Upaliu, paliu, upaliu, paliu. Yo quiero montarle un toro para que me mire mi amor. La fiesta charra, fiesta del sol. Donde los charros valientes dan con sus cantos la evocación. El jaripeo es un festejo que huele a surco y a tradición. Remedo de la faena más admirada de mi nación. Bonito es el jaripeo y cuánta su animación. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Upaliu, paliu, upaliu, paliu. Yo quiero montarle un toro pa' que me mire mi amor. Ay, ay, ay.
Thank you, ladies. All right. Are you all ready for another fun fact, or you're done? Okay, so now we're moving. Actually, I have a really good one. So before I go, because I always say I'm going to go and I don't, but can you guess which kids, well, maybe some teenagers might watch this show. I don't know. But kids, basically, if you have little brothers or sisters, it's a kids show. They have covered the Hispanic Heritage Month. And I'll give you a hint. It's very colorful. Well, I guess all kids' shows are colorful, right? They're... Who? No, wrong. Well, they did. Maybe they did. Yeah, maybe they did. But maybe a kids' show, maybe from the... I mean, they still show it, though. But it's probably from, like, the 90s, maybe. Yes. No. Sesame Street. Yes. And she gets a $25 gift card. No, just kidding. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. We really want to thank the lady that's behind all this. I know there's several people involved, faculty and staff members, and Ms. Rhonda Morrow, and her team of people that puts all this program together. So can we all give her a really round of applause? And then thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much. And I believe we're gonna close with our principal, Mr. Anthony Toy. And thank you all for having us. It was a pleasure seeing you all and being up here. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Students, you've done an amazing job. We're just about done. I have a few closing comments. So, Kenya, thank you so much. Students, would you thank Kenya again for her amazing conversation with us? And lessons, thank you for the exuberant clapping, but lessons, students, for all of us, and adults as well. If you listen to what she said, there were three great things that she focused on. Hard work pays off. Embrace where you've come from. And helping others doesn't cost a thing. Lessons for life and as you grow older. I have a couple of thank yous as well. First, can we all thank our amazing mariachi band and folklorico dancers who performed for you this morning? Also, well, she was right here. Miss Morrow, would you wave? Miss Morrow has organized this for us. Would you give her a round of applause, please? And also, we need to thank two people, and that is, one is standing here, Mr. John Young and Mr. Dana Skelton, who's over here. Thank you for helping organize the space for us today as well, and all of the things that you've done behind the scenes. Thank you. Okay, students, as we dismiss,